Hello and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early, here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel at 4:45 a.m. and then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about a really important topic: wisdom and productivity. What is the key, the tie, the intersection between wisdom and productivity? If you're new to the show is aimed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who like to own their own business, and those who simply want to live in abundance like a boss. As you may also be able to discern from the show's title, we're also interested in the ideal of using joy itself as a technology to move us towards our goals and objectives. We encourage everyone on the show to start their own business that they may be able to eventually fund their own dream project. As you also know, as we all also know from 10th grade science, there's also a scientific imperative behind the feeling of joy. When the body is feeling joyful, what's happening at a biochemical level is that the body is flooding itself with endorphins, and those endorphins give us a sense of euphoria that we can then leverage to move ourselves towards our goals and objectives. Again, today we're talking about wisdom in productivity. Again, for those who are new to the show, let me say two things. First, please, if you're enjoying the show so far, please swipe left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation. And also, you can go to, please become a subscriber here at YouTube's Michael Datcher channel and or go to productivethroughjoy.com. And also for those who are new, let me say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people. And I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel, Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where, of course, Michael Brown was murdered. That book is about identical twin sons. It'll be out February 1st, 2018 on Third World Press in bookstores everywhere. We're setting up the book tours now, so if you want me to come out and speak, read from that text at your college or organization, reach out to us via those various websites that I just mentioned or social media platforms. I'm also the author of, also the founding editor of the International Journal of Literary Nonfiction. I'm the former executive director of the World Stage, a literary and jazz venue here in California. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. I am currently a professor of English literature at Loyola Marymount University here in California. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, then subsequently gave me up for adoption as a 17-year-old girl when I was simply a month old and given to a wonderful divorcee and single mother. So at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Kool Modi famously said, "How you like me now?" Right? And if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching the show. In many ways, that inspired the business and inspires the show because we know what it's like to come from hardship. And for people like us, at times, that coming from hardship can be our excuse. And it really is a good excuse. As LeBron James says, I shouldn't be here. I'm not supposed to be here. Because odds stacked against us are so extraordinary. But we are here, right? And we can demonstrate for those who come from hardship as well that we can also have abundant success. And also for those who don't come from intense backgrounds, as many of us do, who watch this show, that their excuses don't hold lots of water. So we're all in this together, and we want to see people become, of course, more productive and do it through joy. In the morning show, we like to also talk about the import of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. At times, we wake up in the middle of the night and in the middle of the morning, and we're tied to a kind of stress, which is tethered to just the problems of our lives. Our days are being framed by our problems, and that can really define our mindset for that given day. we're saying that's a very dangerous and unhealthy way to live. And we help people to deal with that, those who want to live in abundance, like a boss especially, by engaging in ritual. Ritual can be defined as essentially doing the same thing at around the same time. Let me give you a brief morning ritual that I use. So in the mornings I wake up, as an exemplar, I wake up in the morning at 3:45 every weekday, including today. I read a couple of spiritual books or indoor business books. I do our show now at 4:45 a.m. At 5, I work on my current novel until sunrise. At sunrise, I go to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. I bring my drum. I walk out and drum, meditate, pray, do yoga. It's really powerful. It's still dark. It's basically dawn is emerging, so it's really powerful. I return and work to the house here, work on my book a while longer, then go back to the beach, run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, come all the way back to Venice to go to my gym. Go to the gym to get my buff on, to get my workout in. So guys, by 9:30, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins, and I use that endorphin release, the concomitant joy that comes with that endorphin release, to move me towards my goals and objectives, which of course for me involve publishing, real estate, and consulting. We're not saying do that, although you can. We're saying do something every day, because life happens to us every day, right? So I'm reading 2 great books now. I'm reading a book called The Nag Hammadi Reader or Library, which is a book of ancient kind of Gnostic scriptures. I'm also reading a book by Jen Sincero right now called You Are a Badass at Making Money. It's a book, that book's about having a wealth mindset. Many of us need to disabuse ourselves of the notion that wealth is bad. So that book's a really fun, interesting book about just embracing a wealth consciousness, that money is not bad. It gives us freedom to do what needs to be done. From those 2 books that I'm reading now, of course the books change as I read the book, I replace the book and keep on reading, keep on learning. I extract some wisdom from those 2 books. Today's, which I call the morning chant. Today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, wisdom and overflowing love inspire my decisions to evolve. Once again, as a meditating natural mystic, wisdom and overflowing love inspire my decisions to evolve. So I think about that throughout my day. I place it on my phone when I'm going throughout my day, having meetings. I'll break it out and look at it, think about it. And I also create the morning and afternoon shows based upon that topic. So today we're talking about wisdom and productivity. Again, if you're enjoying the show, please invite people to join the conversation. Share this video on your social media platforms, and definitely become a subscriber to YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. Get all these inspirational videos and knowledge and wisdom straight to your house. So we're talking today about wisdom and productivity. Let's dive in. Point 1 is, you want to have a high valuation for wisdom. You want to have a high valuation for wisdom. What does that mean? Well, you want to really privilege, really honor, really hold and esteem the acquisition of wisdom. I should say that wisdom is simply applied knowledge. So I'm a professor, so I really believe in knowledge. I'm a voracious reader, a voracious visitor to conferences and all types of events where I can acquire knowledge about, of course, my academic field, which is literature, but also as an entrepreneur about business, about leadership. I mean, I'm always trying to evolve and up my game, because that's just a passion of mine, right? But acquiring information is not enough, right? Acquiring knowledge is insufficient. I have to actually apply the wisdom, apply the knowledge. Applied knowledge is wisdom. So when that's your mindset, it's hard to explain, but it sounds kind of mystical, and it is. But when you are in the space of seeking knowledge and applying it, opportunities emerge in that realm. You know, you will meet people who have information that you need or that could help you. You find yourself literally attracting what you need to know, and then what you are then able to apply. You know, I don't have a scientific explanation about why that happens, but that's just my experience and the experience of many people who I know who are in this mindset, which goes into point 2. As you begin to seek out knowledge, apply it into wisdom, you begin to see, I'll just call it the universe beginning to shape itself around your goals and objectives. And then you begin to demonstrate, all right? Here's the second part that we need to really seek to embrace. A demonstration is simply you embracing principles, embracing knowledge, embracing wisdom, and then the outcome of wisdom should be made manifest in your life. People should be able to see that you are wise, and not like in some weird "I'm wiser than you." It's not that. In order, you need a PhD to be wise, uh, which I'll get to in a second. But people should be able to see your knowledge and wisdom as an outgrowth in your life. So one way to think about it is the ideal of joy. So my company is called Productive Through Joy. That's a major part of what we do. We offer live one-on-one Productive Through Joy consulting. We speak to colleges, universities, schools with a special desire to help the youth because that just makes sense to us. So we speak to young people in group settings. In fact, if you'd like me to come out and speak to your group, your people, reach out through social media, or go to the website and reach out to us. We'll do what we can do. And so people should, so one of the outgrowths of wisdom is joy. It doesn't make sense to be on this planet and work as hard as many of us do and go through the things that we go through, as I shared earlier in the show, to begin the show, that my own personal narrative is so crazy that not to be in the joy, whatever possible, as long as we're not exploiting people and doing things that are inappropriate to others and hurting other people, makes no sense. We should be, it's smart, it's wise to be joyful. Not like in some fake manufactured joy, but to build the building blocks necessary to be in the joy. That just makes sense. Why? Because life is short, relatively, and death is certain. As my boy D Black used to say, like Floyd Mayweather, death is undefeated. No one's going to outlive death, right? Death's going to win, right? That's just what. And that isn't even a bad thing because death allows things to live. I mean, that's just, it's a cycle. You know, we have our time on this planet. We go all in. We produce. We love. We support. We get some joy, and we give someone else a chance. You know, that's just how it is. You know. If we all never died, the earth wouldn't be able to sustain all these people on the earth. You know, even now we have a situation where the earth is overpopulated in some areas. Although its resources are being used in a disproportionate way by certain individuals. But I'm just saying, the earth's resources are not finite. They are finite. They aren't infinite. And so if no one died, the earth couldn't sustain itself. So that's just what it is. You know, and so. The point, though, is you want to, while you're here, get some joy. That was a very circuitous way to make that point, but that's the point. Get some joy, all right? And joy is a demonstration of wisdom, guys. As we know, because we're adults now, most of the folks who watch this show, we know that most people, probably including us, because the numbers bear this out, are not really happy with their lives. You know, that's just even people who are doing well financially, who have lots of opportunities, who've lived lives of great privilege, and because of our business, we know many of those people. All right, largely, in our experience, even with people with extraordinary privilege, largely they just are not really happy with their lives. For us, that's not wisdom. Not to judge them, but I'm just saying that's not smart. Right? If you have access to resources, opportunity, it makes sense to us that you should have some joy. I don't know. That just does. So, not to judge them, but I'm saying that's not what I want for my life. What I want for my life is joy, happiness, and that's totally possible. Which goes into point 3. Wisdom, along with not simply, along with being applied knowledge, it's also being able to have wisdom or knowledge come from things that are not books. So I'm a professor, I have a PhD, which I value. I respect book knowledge. That's what I do. I teach people about books. You know, I respect it, obviously. But man, there's also a lot of knowledge in the world that comes, what I just call, from the ether, from the higher realm, from the spiritual realm. And that's got to also be an access route to wisdom, because that is the eternal knowledge. And we root our show in many kind of spiritual principles based upon that idea. All right, so boom, goes the dynamite. That's it for today's show. We air each weekday morning, hella early, here at 4:45 a.m. on Michael Datcher's YouTube channel, then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Please go to productivethroughjoy.com, go to michaeldatcher.com, become a subscriber on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, reach out to us, bring me out to speak to your group about being more productive through joy. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. On Facebook Live. Until then, let's talk about it. Hey, and be about it. Deuces.